Hello, and welcome to another episode of Peculiar Endeavors podcast. I am Amelie, and I am your host. I'm one of those people who doesn't have subscriptions to like Netflix and Disney and Now TV, and I don't know, there's so many of those. If there's something very specific that I want to watch, then I subscribe for maybe a month or two and I watch it, and then I'm just not very fascinated with it at all. But I've been feeling a little bit not really wanting to do anything. I felt tired and I thought, I just want to watch something. And I went into TV4 and they have every single season of X-Files. So, as nostalgia is, I started watching X-Files and I haven't been like watching it religiously. I've been watching a few episodes and then I just had it in the background, watching here and there. And I remember some of the episodes from back in the day when I used to actually watch it properly. But when you have so many episodes, just one after another, I find it difficult to concentrate and actually watch it. But for a few days now, I had it in the background and I've been watching it. And there were two things that made me so fascinated or not fascinated. I think one thing was the kind of nostalgia. It's like this early 90s nostalgia. And as I used to do makeup back in the day, I don't know, I was just like so fascinated about, and I think I do look a lot about at makeup in different movies, and it's so different in the movies right now and back in the day. Everything was just way more natural, but also very like pretty, and it was just very different. And I just got into like all these kind of colors from the 90s, and my mind is just filled with like these kind of tones from like early 90s. If you think about lipsticks, for example, you have like these kind of toasty reds and browns and like a brownie pinks and these like very like movie hues. And I don't know, I just really got into that for some reason, and I think it's because I've been watching X-Files because it's so old. And maybe that's beside the point, but I feel like that's how my brain goes there. It goes like colors, fashion, and in a sense, and then it's just there and it's stuck there. And now everything I'm looking at, everything I see, I'm thinking about all these hues and colors, and I'm kind of picking them out from different places. And yeah, it's I'll probably get over it after a while, but I thought I'd mention it because I think it's quite interesting to also kind of check. So I've been checking if by any chance there is like old school like lipstick colors that are still around so we can buy them. Like MAC used to have a lot of lipsticks that were like really into obviously they used it in movies, so they had a lot of these colors. And then apparently there's loads of like Revlon lipsticks as well. Most of the like old school colors you can't get them in the UK. And I think L'Oreal has some as well. I just find it really fascinating, and I used to have few of those colors when I was younger as well. And also I think these type of colors really remind me of like the colors that my mum used to wear, which I just find it interesting. And somehow I kind of wonder, is it just my head, or are we like, is it like some kind of fashion thing coming up? Because I remember when I was younger, I used to always get these ideas and I used to get really into one thing for a while, like fashion, because when I studied fashion, and then about 6 months later, it became fashion. So I don't know if it's like this undercurrent that's happening. I know it's been happening probably for a little while because like nudes and things, but I'm thinking about like the early 90s. I just feel like it's coming back somehow. I find it interesting. So yeah, X-Files. That's besides the point, maybe. The other thing I was thinking about as well, when it comes to X-Files, I find it really fascinating how they kind of put it together. And it's very much how or what I feel about like tarot and divination and all these kind of things. And how I the characters, so you have Scully and Mulder, and you have like the two characters, and you know, one of them really believes in all these like unexplainable things that are happening, and the other one is like the logic, that's the logic. And the way they kind of deal with whatever comes up, you know, whether it's about like some kind of aliens or some kind of vampires or some kind of strange things that are happening, people, you know, killing each other and going crazy, or there's some, you know, sects or whatever it is in the show. I really love the balance between the two characters. The fact that, you know, the unexplainable and then the rational kind of balances each other. And I just like, this is kind of like how I like doing things like this in general. And I think it's that kind of balance when you can be open-minded to unexplainable things, to ghosts, to aliens, to, you know, whatever comes your way, but also try to have like logic and have make sense of things, like why would something like this exist, or how would it exist? And I know there's so many unexplainable things. You can't explain everything. But I just really love that balance. And to me, it's a little bit like, it's almost like that temperance, you know, that like very gentle mixing of two opposites somehow is this I don't know how to explain it, because I know most people like one and the other. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of people, if they really believe in things that are out of this world kind of a things, strange things, unexplainable things, I feel they very rarely want to listen to some kind of logic. But then at the same time, I feel like the people that might have the logic, they kind of ridicule people that do believe in unexplainable things. So there is like this this dislike between them as well. I don't know how to explain it. And I think it would be so cool if, people that have a lot of logic and people that have a lot of this woo woo or whatever you want to call it, it would be so cool to like, I don't know, have them kind of work together. I think we would kind of come up with so many interesting things, and just to be open-minded from both sides and not to get annoyed with one another and listen. I think, yeah, that I really like that. So I think one of the reasons why I really enjoyed the show, because in general, I think, it's not like there's something crazy happening in the show, but I really love the way they kind of go about resolving whatever comes their way. So I was thinking about the dynamic there, and I thought it would be really interesting to draw maybe 2 cards to start with, to see what kind of things would be good to combine for this week. Whatever comes up, see what we should combine and harmonize, maybe, or maybe 2 sides that should work together a little bit better. I don't know. Let's just pull some cards and see what happens. I have a card of Temperance here as well. And it's basically 2 cards that would play along well together, and see what the result will be. See, the cards don't jump up as quickly as they did before. Okay, and another card here. So I actually think we have the perfect pair. We got the Ace of Cups and 6 of Pentacles. And I think that's just perfect. So the cups, there are water, and the pentacles are the earth. So when you combine those two, you get an earth that is more fertile for things to grow. And isn't that a perfect pair to combine? And that's like very straightforward and very simple. Something, that we can do maybe this week. And I'm not talking about you going into the garden and water flowers, which you can do as well. It can be anything, as the cups is also more emotional, and the pentacles are quite material. So it could also be for things, if you put your emotions into something you're making, it'll get better. It'll get more beautiful. It will grow. And I also think to do things, to work or do maybe even mundane things that you find a little bit boring but you have to do them with a little bit more emotion, and maybe think about, yes, you're doing something like, I don't know, let's just grab something boring. oh, you're doing the dishes, which you have to do. But then it's like, oh, it's so boring. But if you like put some thought into it and be like, actually, I'm pretty grateful that I'm doing the dishes because this means that I just had a nice dinner. So I'm okay with doing this. And just that is the kind of balance. It's the logic in why you're doing things. Yeah, I think that's the perfect pairing. There's really like nothing, it is just so perfect. There's nothing more that needs to be said. And yeah, maybe maybe why not? If you have a garden, maybe put some new seeds. Maybe I don't know what you can grow at this time, but it would be interesting to put some seeds of like strawberries or some kind of little berries and see if they grow. That would be cool too. But I think combining those two also means now that this week we might make something start growing. I guess it's not something that we will gain straight away, but it's a start, it's a beginning, and yeah, let that germinate. All right, I'll see you next time, and have a good evening and a good day.